The last time you saw an attractive person, your brain made a decision about them in 13 milliseconds. Not 13 seconds, 13 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink, faster than a heartbeat, faster than you can read a single word on this screen. Before you even realized you were looking, your brain had already scanned their face, measured every feature, and released the exact same chemical that cocaine releases. You didn't choose to feel that. You weren't supposed to choose. Because this isn't about choice. This is about a system that's been running inside your head since before humans even existed. And once you understand how it works, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Let's start with what actually happens inside your skull the moment you see a face you find attractive. Your eyes capture the image. Light hits your retina. The signal shoots to the back of your brain, to your visual cortex, at roughly 250 miles per hour. Before you can blink, your fusiform face area, a region that exists only to process faces, has already extracted every detail. The distance between their eyes, the width of their jaw, the curve of their lips, the symmetry of their entire face. And here's the part that will mess with you. Your brain isn't looking at beauty. It's looking at data. It's running a scan that evolution built over millions of years, checking for one thing: genetic quality. And it delivers the results before your conscious mind even wakes up. This isn't theory. In 2005, an anthropologist named Helen took 17 people who said they were madly in love and slid them into an fMRI brain scanner at Rutgers University. She showed them 2 photos, one of someone random, one of the person they were attracted to. When the attractive face appeared, 2 specific regions of the brain went haywire: the right ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus. Now, these aren't the parts of your brain that handle emotion. They're not in the feelings department. They're in the reward department. The same areas that light up when you haven't eaten all day and someone puts food in front of you. The same areas that activate in a cocaine addict getting a hit. Fisher looked at the data and said something that changed everything. She said attraction is not an emotion. It's a drive, hardwired, ancient, almost as powerful as thirst. And just like thirst, you don't get to opt out. So your brain treats an attractive face like a survival reward. But why? What is it actually scanning for? What does beauty mean to your brain? In 1994, a biologist named Randy Thornhill at the University of New Mexico did something that sounds almost ridiculous. He measured hundreds of people, their fingers, their wrists, their elbows, their ears. He was looking for one specific thing: symmetry. And what he found was wild. People with more symmetrical features were consistently rated more attractive by complete strangers. Not sometimes. Consistently. Across cultures. Across continents. And the reason has nothing to do with what looks nice. Symmetry is a receipt. It's proof that your DNA copied itself correctly. No parasites. No infections. No developmental errors. When your brain sees a symmetrical face, it's reading a biological report card, and it's grading on a curve that's millions of years old. You don't think any of this. You just feel it. You just feel a pull towards someone, and you have absolutely no idea why. Now you do. But your brain isn't done. Not even close. The moment the ventral tegmental area fires, it dumps dopamine directly into your nucleus accumbens. And this is where everything gets intense. Because dopamine doesn't do what most people think it does. Dopamine does not create pleasure. That's the biggest myth in neuroscience. Dopamine creates want. It creates craving. The feeling that you need to look again, need to get closer, need to know their name, need to hear their voice one more time. This is why you can't stop glancing at someone you find attractive. Your brain has categorized them as a primary reinforcer. That's a neuroscience term for something so important your brain will sacrifice other priorities to pursue it. Food becomes less interesting. Sleep becomes optional. The conversation you were having becomes background noise. Your entire attention system reorganizes itself around this one person, and you think you're just being interested. No, your brain is being hijacked, by itself, on purpose, and your body goes along for the ride. Your hypothalamus, a tiny structure in the center of your brain about the size of an almond, sends a signal to your pituitary gland. Hormones flood your bloodstream. Testosterone spikes. Adrenaline surges. Your heart rate goes up. Your pupils dilate, literally getting wider to take in more of what you're looking at. Blood flow redirects. Your palms might get slightly damp. Your stomach tightens. All of this from seeing a face. Just a face. Not a threat. Not danger. A face. But your body doesn't know the difference between attraction and a survival emergency, because to your ancient brain, this is a survival emergency. Reproduction is the single most important mission your genes have ever given you. Everything else you do in your life, your job, your hobbies, your morning coffee, your brain considers those optional side quests. But this is the main storyline. This is what every ancestor of yours successfully completed for millions of years without a single break. And your brain is not about to let you be the one who drops the chain. But here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Your rational brain, the part of you that makes smart decisions, it gets turned down. A neuroscientist named Dr. Tara Swart documented this precisely. When the attraction response fires, activity in your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for logic, judgment, and rational decision-making, measurably decreases. You become, in a scientifically quantifiable way, dumber, less analytical, more impulsive, more willing to take risks. And this isn't a bug. This is a feature. Evolution turned down your logic on purpose, because 1,000,000 years ago, the human who stopped to carefully analyze whether they should approach an attractive mate got outcompeted by the human who just went for it. Hesitation was a death sentence for your genetic line. So your brain learned to shut up the rational part and let the drive take over. You experience this as butterflies, as nervousness, as that feeling where your brain goes a little blank when someone attractive talks to you. That's not you being awkward. That's millions of years of evolutionary engineering working exactly as intended. And it gets stranger, because your brain isn't the only thing evaluating attractiveness. Your nose is doing it too. In 1995, a Swiss biologist named Klaus Wedekind at the University of Bern ran one of the strangest experiments in the history of science. He gave a group of men plain white t-shirts, told them to wear them for 48 hours straight. No shower, no deodorant, no cologne. Then he collected those shirts, put them in boxes, and had women smell them. Just smell them, and rate which ones they found attractive. The results blew the field wide open. Women consistently preferred the scent of men whose immune system genes were most different from their own. Specifically, men with different MHC genes, the genes that build your body's disease-fighting system. Your nose is literally shopping for genetic diversity. It wants your potential offspring to have the widest possible immune defense, and it does this without telling you. You just think someone smells good, or they don't. But underneath that simple feeling, your brain is running a full genetic compatibility scan through your nostrils. And then there's this. In 1993, a psychologist at the University of Texas named Devendra Singh published a study on body proportions that became one of the most cited papers in evolutionary psychology. He found that across cultures, across decades, across every demographic he tested, men consistently rated women with a specific waist-to-hip ratio as most attractive. Not a specific weight, not a specific height, a ratio. 0.7, waist circumference divided by hip circumference. And the reason is brutal in its simplicity. That ratio correlates with fertility, with healthy hormone levels, with the ability to carry children. Your brain doesn't know any of this consciously. You just feel a preference. But that preference was installed by millions of years of evolutionary pressure. It's not yours. It belongs to every ancestor who ever reproduced successfully. You're just running their software. And all of this, Every single part of it happens before you form a single conscious thought about the person you're looking at. Here's the thing that really messes people up. A study published in Evolution and Human Behavior asked people to describe their ideal partner in words. Then researchers tracked who those same people were actually attracted to in real life. The overlap was almost zero. People said they wanted kindness, humor, intelligence. Their brains went for facial symmetry, voice pitch, and body proportions. You think you have a type. You don't. You have a conscious preference that your ancient brain ignores completely. You're not choosing who you're attracted to. You're being told. By a system that was built before language existed, before cities existed, before clothes existed. And this system doesn't just use your eyes and your nose, it uses everything. Your ears evaluate voice pitch. A deeper voice in men correlates with higher testosterone. A higher voice in women correlates with higher estrogen. Your brain knows this and adjusts attraction accordingly. Your skin evaluates touch, temperature, texture, pressure, all feeding data to your limbic system. And even kissing, which you think is romantic, is actually a chemical assay. Your saliva contains markers for your immune system, your hormone levels, and your current health status. When you kiss someone, your brain is running one final diagnostic check before making its recommendation. You experience it as chemistry. Your brain experiences it as a quality control inspection. Every romantic feeling you have ever had, every time your stomach flipped, every time you couldn't stop thinking about someone, every time your body reacted before your mind caught up. All of it was this system, an algorithm older than language, older than fire, older than tools, running silently in the background of every interaction you've ever had with another human being. Not designed for your happiness, not designed for your comfort, designed for one thing only: the survival of the code that built you. And here's the part that really gets me. Knowing all of this changes absolutely nothing, because tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, you'll see someone. Your ventral tegmental area will fire. Dopamine will flood your nucleus accumbens. Your heart rate will climb. Your prefrontal cortex will go quiet. And in 13 milliseconds, your brain will make a decision about them. Faster than a blink. Faster than a heartbeat. Faster than you can read a single word. You won't choose to feel it. You are never supposed to choose. And now, at least, you know why.